It started on a calm Sunday morning. Mist rolling off the lake, birds singing, coffee brewing, and peace finally returning to my ranch after months of HOA drama. I thought maybe, just maybe, the neighborhood had learned to leave me alone. Then came Karen. Again. I was heading down to the lake to take my boat out when I noticed something strange. My gravel road, the one leading directly to my private dock, was blocked. Completely. A big, ugly, padlocked metal gate stood right across it, with a fresh sign, HOA access point. Private use for members only. My jaw dropped. She did not. Sure enough, I looked down the hill and there she was, standing smugly in a bright pink sun hat, clipboard in hand, directing a group of HOA volunteers like a general leading troops. I marched down. "Karen, why is there a gate on my road?" She turned, pretending to be surprised. "Oh, this old thing? HOA board voted for it. We're controlling lake access now. Too many non-members using the water." I blinked. "Non-members? Karen, I own this land. That's my dock." She waved a hand. "Not anymore. The HOA determined the lake is communal. You can still use it, of course, just after signing our lake use permit and paying the maintenance fee." "The what?" $500 annually," she said sweetly. "Covers insurance and shared access." I laughed. A deep, slightly unhinged laugh. "Karen, you're blocking the wrong person's lake." She crossed her arms. "We'll see about that when the sheriff comes." Oh, I was counting on that. Because see, Karen didn't know one little detail. I didn't just own the lakefront. I owned the dam that feeds the entire lake system. Bought it years ago when the previous owner split the ranch land. And that dam controlled the water flow to every lakefront property in the HOA. So I decided to remind her. Dramatically. I went straight home, pulled out my property files, photos, deeds, the works, and made a few calls. By sunset, I had the county water inspector, the sheriff, and my lawyer all lined up for a little lake access review the next morning. Karen showed up, arms crossed, surrounded by her usual HOA posse. "You're in big trouble," she sneered. "You're trespassing on our property." The sheriff looked at her, then at me, then at the paperwork I handed over. "Ma'am," he said slowly, "this entire section, road, dock, and shoreline, is on his deed. And this here," he pointed at the map, "is the water inlet, which he also owns." Karen blinked. "That's impossible." The county inspector cleared his throat. "Actually, it's true. According to these records, he owns the water control structure, which means he technically regulates the lake level." I smiled. "So, about that gate, Karen?" The sheriff nodded. "You'll need to remove it. Immediately." But she didn't. Of course not. Karen never backs down quietly. So 2 days later, while the HOA was having a summer splash event, I went down to my dam house and flipped a few switches. Slowly, the lake's water level began to drop. First, no one noticed. Then, as the afternoon wore on, the docks started sitting awkwardly high, and boats were tilting sideways. By sunset, half the HOA's lakefront properties were facing mud instead of water. That's when my phone rang. It was Karen. "What did you do?" she screeched. "Oh, just routine maintenance," I said casually. "Gotta keep the dam inspected. Don't worry, the water will be back once that gate's gone." You can't drain the lake." "Actually," I said, flipping through my papers, "I can. Property Code 62B, Section 14. Owner of the water control structure has full operational authority." There was a long silence on the line, then a faint whimper. The next morning, the gate was gone. Completely. The HOA had an emergency meeting that week. Apparently, Karen had to explain why their prized lake access was now a muddy ditch. She tried to spin it as a temporary environmental event, but word spread fast. Everyone knew the truth. To make sure history didn't repeat itself, I installed a tall iron gate, on my side this time, with a shiny plaque that read, "Private Lake Access, controlled by dam owner." And every few months, when Karen drives by in her golf cart and glares at the sparkling water she can't touch, I give her a friendly wave from my boat, because she thought blocking my lake would give her power. But now, every drop of water her HOA sees flows through my dam first,